What's up all you cool cats and shop rats? Welcome back to Rule Hard Garage. Today, things are going to get a little bit controversial, so if you're apt to getting butthurt, this may be the time to leave, because today, we're getting to the bottom of what is the difference between a bobber motorcycle and a chopper motorcycle. Alright, so here's the deal. I was browsing YouTube. I come across this video of this guy explaining what a bobber motorcycle is. Can't really say that I agree with him. It's a little bit more complex than what he is leading you to believe. So I'm going to lay that out today, and we're just going to dig right into the meat and bones of it. To me, a bobber is something that is very much parallel with a hot rod out of the 50s. It's something that was stock. They took parts off of it, they stripped it down, they tried to make it a little bit lighter so that it'll perform better, drilling holes in it, hopping the motor up. Those are all things that guys were doing in the 50s and the 60s to their hot rods to make them a little bit faster. Bobbers are kind of the same thing. Bikes came back from the war, soldiers took the bikes and they wanted to make them faster, so they started stripping parts off them and drilling holes in them and hopping up the motors. It's all the same thing. That's truly where the definition of a bobber came from. Called them bobbers because they were bobbing the fenders and bobbing parts off it. So that's the real definition, but like I said, for me, any bike that you're just kind of stripping the parts off of, to me that's a bobber. Okay then, what is a chopper? To me a chopper is very much similar to what a hot rod is, except for it's got a lot more style. So it's like Ed Roth version of a hot rod. Sprinkle a little bit of Ed Roth on top of it. Ed Roth started designing and drawing all these crazy cars, which were cartoons essentially, but then people would build these types of cars and it was like a cartoon coming right out of a book. So choppers are very much the same way. It's something that, you know, kind of is a hot rod or was a hot rod at one point, and then, you know, the mind of the people creating it just got a little twisted. Get this like cartoonish kind of crazy bike that comes out, and to me, that's what a chopper is. Now, understand that you can define this as whatever you want. There's lots of people that like to call certain things a chopper, certain things a bobber. That's completely fine. Whatever makes you happy at the end of the day. All custom bikes, I call them choppers. Sport bikes, street fighters, dirt bikes, you have adventure bikes, you have cruiser bikes. It's a joke to me. Everything's a chopper. Anything that you modify is a chopper. That's just how I roll. You can't really label choppers and bobbers that way. It's not really something that can be put into a box. There is lots of popular thoughts out there that it does work that way. It's got long forks, short forks, it's a hardtail, it's got suspension, it's a bobber, it's a chopper. Again, it just doesn't work that way. But hey, if that helps you sleep at night, then more power to you. Choppers are a way for you to express yourself. They are for me, at least. I like to look at myself like an artist. And at the end of the day, you're taking this motorcycle, this thing that was imagined and thought of one way. This is how it was intended to be used by the general population. Taking that fucking motorcycle that, you know, they said this is what it's for, and you're stripping all the stuff out that they say that you need, you're stripping things down, and you're making it what you want. And if that makes you happy, that's what it's all about. That is the beauty of choppers. You take this thing, you imagined it your own way, and then you're riding on this thing. You're driving, you're traveling places, you're going to meet people. That's what a chopper is. There's almost like a spirit to the chopper, to the bobber. And that is almost like a fuck you attitude, right? Who cares if it's the lightest? Who cares if it's the fastest or the best or the shiniest? None of that matters. While all that stuff can make the bike way cooler, it's not essential. It's not about that. It's about just having what you like. You're gonna take this motorcycle that you built with your own two hands, this crazy contraption. When you drive this thing places, you're gonna come across people who are the most interesting people that you've ever met in your life. When you're riding something like this and you pull up to a gas station, the type of person that walks up to you and asks you questions about that, that's the type of person that you're probably gonna be interested in, and you're gonna hear some awesome fucking stories. And that's the best part about it. That is my favorite thing about a chopper. And the people who are the ones who are persistent, they have that burning desire, that drive to build these choppers, to build these types of motorcycles, those are the people who deserve those experiences. Those are the people who understand those experiences, they get something from it. Your typical guy who's driving a street glide, No offense to you if you drive street glides, it's just not my thing. But if that typical guy were to have one of these choppers, they're probably not going to experience it the same way that you do. That's all that we have today on Rule Hard Garage. That is the difference between bobbers and choppers, in my opinion at least. Bobbers are like hot rods, choppers are like Ed Roth customs. At the end of the day, you can't really label them. Just be happy with what you got, build what makes you happy, and that choppers are just a fuck you type of motorcycle. If you like this video, like and comment down below. Hit the little subscribe there. Make sure you hit the bell because otherwise you're not going to get notifications. But that's all that we have. Until next time, peace!